Gene, I'm here to stay sober.
I'm Emma. I'm here to better myself.
I'm Tiffany. I'm here to better myself as well.
I'm Brittany. I'm here to stay alive.
I'm Candy. I'm here for balance. I'm Kristen. I'm here to see everyone.
I'm Wes. I'm here to best man I can be. Student stay.
I'm TJ. I'm here to remain teachable.
I'm Rick. I'm here to stay sober.
I'm Mike in the corner, and I'm here to keep on living. Livin.
My name's Tony. I'm here to learn a better quality of life.
My name's David. I'm here because I finally found something that works.
Justin's here to keep moving forward.
Kevin, I'm here to keep making positive changes.
I'm Donnie. I'm here to listen and learn.
I'm Heather. I'm here for support.
I'm Mike. My friends are right here, so I'm just hanging out with them today. I guess I'm not gonna get the virus. Should be good.
I'm Megan. I'm here to change my life, and in order to do that, I need to start making some more drastic changes and sticking to them.
I'm Levi, and I'm with Jeremy tonight. I want to think more with my heart.
I'm Des, and I'm here for growth.
I'm Randall. I just come to these meetings because I've always enjoyed them. I've always enjoyed reading the book, and it's always helped me in my recovery, so it's not broken, fix it.
I'm April. I'm here for positivity.
I'm Lorenzo. Grateful to be here. Making me a better person every day. To grow, to learn.
My name's Joe, and I am here to put the action into my sobriety.
I'm Brittany, and I'm here because I need to pull the fuck up. I'm Emily. I'm here to be consistent and to give and get support.
I'm Jeff, and I'm here because good shit goes down in this room.
I'm Matt. I'm here to keep moving in the right direction.
I'm Jay, and I'm thankful college was canceled so I can come back here.
Looks like that's everybody. Any announcements? All right, as you can see from the introductions, our meeting are for everyone affected by self-destructive behaviors.
The answer.
The answer.
The answer by novelty car. Running from the misery, trying to escape the pain. As I approach the light of hope that lies before me, each step overwhelms me. Every breath sears my throat. I ache, my body rebels against me. My memories torment me. Agony has become my closest companion. My demons mock me as I dangle helplessly above the abyss of alcohol and drug abuse. The voices all sound the same, criticizing, accusing, blaming me for what has happened. They don't understand. They don't care who I am. I'm a human being full of thoughts and feelings. I'm worth saving. Just show me the way. At last, I reach the light of promise. There stands the answer. Open arms, understanding smiles, looks of trust, and so it begins bracing for recovery.
Thanks for calling, everybody.
All right. As you can see from the introductions, our meetings are for everyone affected by self-destructive behaviors. No topic is off limits. If you have a question or something you'd like to discuss, we encourage you to bring it up early so we can have time to discuss it. So with that being said, before we get into the literature, does anyone have something they want to talk about, get off their chests?
Yeah, I'm Wesley. We had a death this weekend. For those of you who don't know, he's my roommate basically since I've been here the whole time. And we wasn't on too good of terms. So today, I had to talk to his mother and his father and his sister and help him pack his shit. And it was fucked up. I had to hold his father. His father cried about 3-4 times. His mother broke down. And it was real messed up. I don't even know how to take that, you know what I'm saying? So, we talked about him in a positive note, but they should have killed your ass, you know. It ain't no joke. It shook me. I ain't been shook in a while. It wasn't good. You know, I feel for his parents. You know, I felt all their pain. They was trying to give me food. And I'm like, I don't want anything. You know, so I got his father's number. He got a real cool mother and father. Real nice people, sister, and they are broke up. And the police, they just treat it like, oh, this is another dope fiend. Gone, you know. So it shook me, man. It shook me. So I don't know. It's just experience. So I got his father's number, but I'm gonna call to check on him, you know, each day. Try to help him.
Thanks. I've been here since early April last year, and I've seen, this will be the third. I didn't know the individual. I'm not here as much, so my pulse isn't really on racing as it, but I heard it through the grapevine. But I know for me, it had a dramatic effect on me as well. Being so active in sobriety, I think you're so close to the trenches still, you see a lot of the unbecoming behavior that leads to stuff like that. Keith?
Keith Paradek. You know, that is not easy at all. You know, like the 2 years I've been sober, you know, I used to work in actual rehab center, and every time I would see someone come back in, and they would just think it was like funny, like, oh, I'm back again, you know, like, you know, and it's life or death out here, you know. I've had a lot of friends lately go back out, and you know, some of them are still off and running. You know, I feel like just over time I got used to it, and it shouldn't be like that. You know, I wish I could just shake people and hope that they get it. You know, but it's not that easy today. You know, they have to want to change. You know, that's why I just try to keep helping out the next person. To try to keep me good. No doubt that.
Yeah, I like what you said. For me, it was a good reminder of exactly that. This is life and death, and I mean, I like to have fun in my life. I like to laugh and joke around and have fun in sobriety. You know, I didn't get sober to not have fun. But, you know, I've been that person before that, I'm back again, you know, blah, blah, blah. Because last time I almost didn't get to come back again. And people aren't getting to come back again. You know, there's a time and place to be serious, and when we're in here, these rooms, that room over there, you know, it's not something to joke around about. You know, it's time to, for me, it's time to put the work in, not half-ass it, not put 1 foot in and leave 1 foot hanging out. Like, I don't want to lose my life, and if I don't go full force into this, if I don't put everything I have into what I'm doing to stay sober, you know, I found things that work. I found things that keep my head on the right path and keep me going the right direction, and using my daughter to motivate me to do that, to the point where now, you know what, I'm using me to motivate that. You know, I want to do this for me and her. And, you know, at any point, though, if I stop doing that, it can go right back to that. And, you know, that's serious, and I don't want to be. I don't want that to be my parents. You know, Wes, I appreciate you sharing that, because I don't want my parents to have to go through that. That's horrible that they're going through that. His whole family. That sucks. And when I hear you sharing that, I think about my family, not just my parents, my sister, my daughter, my cousins, my aunts and uncles, my daughter's mom. You know. People hear the ripple effect that it has. Like, it's been a harsh reminder of what this this lifestyle has to offer and what direction it can go, and how we kind of have to prepare ourselves to deal with it, because this isn't easy, and I don't want to see anybody make a bad choice because of struggling with grief. So yeah, I guess that's all I got.
I was just gonna say that the whole situation it was really messed up, and losing people is never easy. Even if you're not close to the person, just knowing that they're on the same path that you are, and they lost their life, it did really remind me that this is life and death. And the last situation that I had before I came in here, I literally almost took my last breath, and I literally see my funeral. Like, I seen it. I seen my parents all devastated. I seen my brother and my nephews, and I just seen how much it hurt them. And that honestly just drove me more not to want to use, not to want to be on that path anymore, do the stupid things that I was doing. And like, everything just boils down to a choice, and you have to choose if you want it. If you want to stay sober, you have to choose a different route. If you're feeling upset, instead of going into drugs to numb your pain, use other tools, because there's so many different tools. You just choose not to. I know sometimes it's hard when you're upset and you don't know how to deal with your emotions, but you have to learn. Losing your life is the ultimate thing. So.
All right, Kevin, before you go, we are mandated to read at least the section of the book before we continue with this topic. I got a reader, and then we'll jump back in the list we have. It's
page of the...
Yep, we're at 101 in the small book, and then 204 in the bigger, newer one.
Starting at the knife's edge.
Yes, sir.
The knife's edge of consistent sobriety. The amazing thing about family is that given time, they will come back around to support you. Think of your reality with them as a rock wall, the kind you see in illustration of Robert Frost's poems or at the end of The Shawshank Redemption. Each time you screw up while trying to get sober, got dropped off by the police, or betrayed their trust in another way, there's a stone knocked out of that wall. Eventually, the wall becomes riddled with holes and is at risk of collapse. Recovery in relationships with family and friends is about rebuilding that wall, stone by stone. It's backbreaking work. Mending the wall demands that you understand yourself and your loved ones. It demands that you get educated about the cause of your using or drinking so you can get past it. It demands physical, mental, and spiritual healing. It demands living with the responsibility for what you did while addicted. Not so that you wallow in guilt, but so that you never forget addiction's lessons. Above all, you must practice consistent sobriety. There is no middle ground. This is what makes recovery so challenging for some people. When they first try to get sober, as Joe can attest through his story in this chapter, many think they can just dip their toe in the water and not commit 100% to never, ever using their addictive substance again. But without a total commitment, you're doomed. That's the knife's edge that all addicts in recovery have to walk. We can go to support group meetings, get new jobs, get fit enough to do triathlons, and apologize to everyone we've ever hurt. But without 100% consistent sobriety, none of it means anything. Maintaining that non-compromise sobriety is the reason that I have been able to achieve the results I have. Understand that your loved ones may always hold onto a tiny core of suspicion about your addictive habits and fear that one day, just maybe, you'll choose to use again. People do it all the time, turning years of sobriety upside down with a single drink or one hit of the joint. Because it's not about the beer you just drank, it's about the violation of the implied contract of trust you set with the people who care about you. Each time you breach that contract, it will become harder to get those people to sign another contract. Eventually, if you break your promise enough times, even the people whose love for you was supposedly bottomless, your family, will give up out of self-preservation. There is no middle ground for the person in recovery. If you are holding on to any thoughts that you can sort of use or drinking, or sort of stop using or drinking, let them go now. 100% consistent sobriety is the only absolute in this process. There's absolutely no room for using. There is absolutely no room for using. Once you accept that absolute as the new defining fact in your life, it gets easier to adhere to it. More important, once you prove to the people who know and love you that you are deadly serious about sticking by that principle, you will find them surprisingly willing to open their hearts to you all over again. Trust me on this. It happened to me. It will happen to you. It will happen for you. And again, there is absolutely no room for using.
Evan?
Thanks for reading that, Joe. Rolls into our topic today pretty good. 100% consistency is where I got to be today. Surrendering every day, knowing that my addiction is out there, and it definitely going to kick my ass. Because of the program today, empathy. The other day in the room, we were talking about Brian. I've only known him for 60 days, man. And for me to cry because someone I've only known for 60 days is pretty amazing. I feel for you, Wes, man. I do, man. I've been hearing a lot of people walking around talking about if we get quarantined, that they might sneak a little sack in or want to use or something like that. And I just want everybody to stay focused, man. Because that ain't the way. You ain't getting away with it. It's all about integrity, man. Just joking about it, putting stuff like that in the air is dangerous. You don't know how strong someone is or how weak someone is. And for people to entertain that thought, get stuck in that mindset, man. It's all over with. I don't know. It sucks losing people. And I've become friends with a lot of people in here, and it's I don't know. Just everybody stay on the program, stay focused. And if you hear somebody saying stuff like that, man, just try to straighten them up. Try to put them in the right direction. Don't joke about it. Keep it on track, man. That's all I got to say.
I think when you hear words like 100% consistency, absolute, no compromise, those are the things that stuck out for me. There's a lot of vitality behind those words. TJ?
Yeah, what stuck out to me was like no middle ground, especially for this topic. I think so many times before I was just on that fence, and it's like I didn't want to not get high, but I didn't want to get high, and like it wasn't like a fully conscious decision to get out of the lifestyle completely and really look at everything that's going on, and not just the little things or just the big things, but like on a day-to-day basis, like what's really going on with me and how am I feeling and how am I reacting to them, because that would always lead me back into comfortable territory, I'm back into my comfort zone, and death is a reality of this process, man, and it's an unfortunate reality, but like it happens, man. And me and Keith, we've been through this process together at least these 2 years, and like we've lost a lot of people, man, and it sucks. It really sucks. And I can remember my stepsister. She died from an overdose, and I was at her funeral, and my stepmom is just like crying in my arms and telling me that she doesn't want this for me and all that, and they were doing her eulogy, and like he really didn't have much to say. It was just like she never really found her way. She was a good person, and I say it a lot, but like so I'm born in '84. If I die in 2020, that dashes my legacy. And what do you want people to say about you at your funeral? Who do you want to show up? What are they going to say? What are they going to say about your character? Up until this point, what could they say? And not to use that as something for a bad thing, to look forward to like, what am I going to do from here on out to be somebody? And I don't want to be another statistic. I don't. I was close. Like I OD'd and I couldn't be sitting here, but I am. I have another chance at it. I feel for you, Wes, man. Like I do, because I know that my stepmom was a little closer than that father, but that feeling, man, that is just that's super deep, man. And you were able to be there for him, though. Like you said, you're able to call him and use that as motivation, through this process, and that it doesn't ever have to be you. It never has to be any one of us that gets that phone call. The parents get their phone call or whatever. It could have, but it doesn't have to be. I can remember my mom telling me that, she'd be worried about that phone call that I was going to be, and that pain that she put her through. I couldn't imagine, like, if I died and my son had to stand over my casket. So what am I doing? What am I doing today to make sure that doesn't ever happen? And that's that 100% consistency. If I don't do the first one, I ain't got to worry about the last one.
Yeah.
Okay, so this chapter I definitely can relate to, because this is my first time in treatment, and coming into treatment, I definitely had an open mind. Like, I wasn't like opposed to like anything or anything like that, but I also had the mindset of I just never want to use, excuse me, I never want to use heroin again. I didn't really think like it was a problem, like if I were to ever decide to go home and smoke again or drink again or anything like that. I just knew I never wanted to use heroin again. Like, I'm like, okay, well, I could probably do cocaine here and there because it's not heroin. Like, I just never wanted to use my drug of choice again. And then, like, the more treatment that I've, like, the more and more that I, like, learn and the more that I, like, get, like, I reflect on things that I've done in the past and I'm like, wow, like, that really makes sense. Like, I never thought I really had a drinking problem because I would just drink on the weekends or something like that. But drinking always led to more for me. Like, it never was just, I had one or two drinks. Like, if I did have one or two drinks, okay, that was very, very rare occasionally. But usually I drank to get messed up. And then once I was messed up, the drugs would just fall into line with it. So now, like, I fully understand that, like, I have to be not only, like, consistent with, like, not, because, like, obviously I still never want to drink or use ever again. But I just have to be consistent, like, all around, like, with myself, with, like, past traumas, with feelings, just, like, everything in general. And, like, I didn't come in feeling that way. I didn't come in thinking, like, okay, there's so many other things that could be the problem. I thought drugs were my problem. Like, I was like, okay, well, if I were to never have done this, this wouldn't have happened. But no, like, that's not it at all, because before something led to me doing the drugs. Before I was on the drugs, something went wrong that I felt like I had to, not felt like, but I made the choice to go and use those drugs. So I definitely can relate to this chapter, because like I said, the longer I'm here, the more like I learn, like I have to be consistent all the way around, not just with not only using drugs. I have to be consistent with everything and like keep up with like the things I actually want in life, because I don't want to just be sober. Like, I don't want to just not drink and drug. Like, I want to recover. I want to live like a happy, healthy life. And I know that like consists of a lot more than just not drinking and doing drugs. So I definitely can relate to this chapter. With that, I pass though.
Yeah. Stuck out for me was like the part where we're talking about breaching contracts, and every time you break a contract, it's harder and harder for people to sign a contract. That's something I relate to completely. Several times while going out and chose to go back out, and it's to the point to where a lot of my immediate family doesn't even speak to me anymore. They haven't for some years. I might get the occasional hi about how you doing from a brother or sister out of 7 of them, maybe like 2 of them. Occasional hey, how you doing? As soon as I get back in the conversation, it usually ends pretty quickly. My mom hasn't talked to me in over 3-4 years. My son's mother was to the point where she was done with me this time. She wouldn't answer my calls. I mean, it got so bad to where I found out my son was even ignoring my calls. My son's 10-year-old, my youngest, he's 10 years old, and he was ignoring my calls. Just for simple fact is me not being there for his football season, coming to his games, coming to his final game, hanging out with him, spending time with him. Well, luckily, I got that back. I got my son and his mom back in my life today from the choices I'm making. But when I sit here and think about this breach of contract and stuff, like the fact of the matter is like I don't that choice. If I choose to go back out, it's not a guarantee that I'm even gonna be around to make another contract. That's the whole reality of it. Seeing people lose their life over it, over one simple choice, the ripple effect of not only themselves, but everybody around, everybody here, their family. That's huge. I know for me, that's something I got to take into consideration from here on out. When it's talking about that 100% consistent sobriety, for me, I make that. I pretty much just, to me, I got to tell myself I got to make my video match my audio. What I learn in here, what I share in here, what we talk about in here every day, this lifestyle we want, this lifestyle we need, this lifestyle we're trying to make. We can't just talk about it. We actually have to do it. We actually have to be committed to it. It's funny because like even now, like I'm struggling with a few things, as far as like just simple things like just trying to quit smoking, trying to eat healthier. Eating healthier, man, it's like it's a struggle for me, and even smoking too. But it's something that I'm really trying to do because I know I can't just half-ass it anymore. I can't just come in here and say I'm not going to use. Like I have to change everything about what I do, the way I look at things, the way I think of things, even the jokes I make. You know, man, that's crazy. Like I used to do that, make little jokes and not think nothing of it. But the power in that, you know, when you were saying that, Kev, I get it. Like that shit, that's the truth. You never know who's thinking about using, who's thinking about can they do this, and like, you know, I know what it's like just being. I know when I was in a certain part of my recovery, just being around people using was hard, and that got easier. And then it's the point where people talk about using, you know, it's hard, you know, it's easier, but we're all on different levels of our sobriety. You know, we're getting new people in all the time. People who've never been to treatment before. It sucks if somebody who's new to this doesn't know anything about this, who wants to be committed to this, but then one day have a bad day, and people make a joke about using, and they don't realize the seriousness of that. You know, who else? You know, that's just, we're vulnerable. We're in here, but it's definitely, this weekend definitely opened a lot of eyes, I hope, to the realization of the whole picture, like how serious this shit is. I mean, I thought, like when I first came in there, that whole choice in action, it kind of stuck with me, and I you know, I really got, like, man, you know, every choice has a consequence. But like that shit this weekend really set it in stone, man. That really, there's no easier way to define a negative choice to a negative consequence than that, and it sucks. I just know that from here, I know that now, like I'm not half-assing shit. I gotta fully commit, man. Fully commit. Even though I feel like I was already fully committed, but just that right there just makes you really think about it, make you want to really commit. Because flat out, man, it takes one choice.
A couple Fridays ago, Eli sat in the corner over here and he said something along the lines of how one choice can redefine us. Sometimes that choice can be irrevocable too.
What stuck out the most to me in this book is this sentence that says, it demands that you get educated about the cause of your using or drinking so you can get past it. It demands physical, mental, and spiritual healing. There's a lot of power in those two sentences right there. I'm not currently working at a traditional job. I am participating in IOP, the sober support meetings, my one-on-ones. I feel like that is the most important job I have of my life, because that is going to give the true me to myself and everyone that loves me and all of my friends. And from 9 to 11, 7 to 8, and that one-on-one time, that's where I punch that fucking clock. That's where I put the real work in, and that's what's gonna pay. And it's not paying in a bank account, but it's gonna pay tenfold over than any job I'll ever have in my life. And by me truly being open and vulnerable in my one-on-ones to identify my past traumas and not get over them, because I don't think that's gonna happen, but come to a point where I can live with them and know how to coexist with, knowing what's happened and how I'm overcoming it and the man that I'm turning into. I think that's extremely important, and I have committed 100% to not ever using again, period. And when I heard, someone say that some people or someone, I don't know, is making jokes about using it in a quarantine or whatever, man, that pissed me off really bad immediately, because I love this place up here, and I have the best genuine friendships I've ever had. I want nothing but the best for everybody here and myself, and it upsets me and makes me sad to think that somebody has reservations of bringing something here that could potentially harm a lot of people that I care about. And I want to protect this place and the people here, but I know that's not my responsibility. My responsibility is to protect myself and to work on myself and heal and move forward with my life. And doing that is how I'm going to help everybody around me.
Wes?
Yeah. I just got one more thing to say. I didn't share that. I share that, so maybe somebody here can get the message, because it ain't about me. You know what I'm saying? I want to slap the shit out of him and just whip his ass, but he dead. He's not here. You know what I'm saying? And the motherfucker made me cry. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, if that situation don't light a fire up under you, get your attention, I don't know what will. You know what I'm saying? If you got people in your life that you love, that support you, it's in your life, period. You better tell them you love them, because tomorrow ain't guaranteed. I look at it like, everybody in here could be a winner. I ain't no loser. I'm a winner. I'm a go-getter. And I ain't accepting nothing less. So some of us got to die for some of us to make it. That's just the reality of it. I want to be happy, joyous, and free. The God of my understanding that I believe in wants me to be happy, joyous, and free. So I don't know, man. It's just it ain't about me, man. Just hope everybody get the message. He was a member of the family. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of how I felt or what was going on, he ain't here no more. I'm trying to get process that. You know what I'm saying? So things just happen for a reason, man. I don't know, man. I didn't mean to bring the meeting down. I just felt it had to be shared. You know, somebody share something happy then. You know, man.
Thanks, Wesley.
David?
Yeah, this is a topic that I feel really passionate about. This is something that I'm going through really a lot this month, is with loss and grief. So I'm right with you, Wes. You know, I get it. And Joe, you're very right on your feelings about what was said. I find it disrespectful for anybody to say a joke during these times. It's not a laughing matter. If anything, we should come together, be a little stronger. It made me really, really evaluate what I was doing here. You know, in this chapter, it says consistency. I'm consistent in a lot of areas, but a lot of areas I'm getting very sloppy in, and I recognize that. You know, and that just reaffirms of what I need to do, because you know I'm 10 months clean on heroin, not other things, but just heroin. 10 months clean here in a couple weeks, and that was a wake-up call. You know, I was there when all the events happened, and sat in the hallway for 4.5 hours. And that 4.5 hours, like, we're laughing and joking, just trying to get out of that situation. But those that were there, like, we looked at each other and like, it's real. You know, it's real. And the consistency for me is, you know, where I lack, you know, just like this chapter said, that scares the shit out of me. For my lack of consistency on certain areas that need to be addressed in my life, that I'm focused on these ones, and then I let these slip, and then that could be my one bad decision. It's one thing that I'm not working on, what I'm not thinking, what's wrong inside me, what's going on inside me. I'm not asking these questions for myself, and that's the main questions that I'm told to ask. And you know, it's a hard thing to deal with. But again, you know, through this, we got to find, you know, we talk a lot about flipping the situation here, and you got to flip into a good, you know, flip it into to tighten yourself up, you know, tighten up the knot, people around you, just look out for each other. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm here for. Like I look at everybody here. I love people in general. Like I'm a God-fearing man, and I feel like it's my job to spread some love, you know, and care, and you know, honestly, look out for the next person the best I can, as well as myself. But I can't let anything bring me down from where I'm at, because it's something that I have to keep moving forward. I'm not saying don't grieve, don't, you know what I mean? Like we have to grieve our way, but we're all in this together. Like, you know, we said, there was something on Facebook about all the situation. You know, we're all like family. Like I come to every one of you for something. Like we talk about something, I get something from everybody here.
Wes, man, thanks for bringing this up, because you know, it felt a little bit to me like this got swept under the rug a little bit. Not necessarily like tried to hide, but like tried to hide it, but like the healing that I felt like should have taken place from a loss like that didn't necessarily take place, at least in my eyes. You know, it sucks. Like there are hard parts of sobriety, and this is one of them. You know, I let that serve as a reminder that it's a second away. You know, I joke around a lot, and you know, I have a lot of fun, but it's outside of this room. And if I make a joke, it's because it's relative to what I'm saying, and I feel like it gets the point across in a little bit more palatable vessel. I didn't just dip my toe into this program. I fully immersed myself in this program because, like Brian, I overdosed, but I was clearly brought back to life. And when I did, my mother and I weren't talking. And even after that, I was in jail, and my mom asked to be put on my visitation list, and I said, fuck no, and turned around. Like, I was that broken. Fuck no, and turned around. Like, I already had my
my life taken away from me, and knew that, you know, I could never see the people that cared about me again. And I was still so polluted in my mind that I was like holding on to this anger and grudge that was so childish. Like, you know, it makes me realize that I had to let the hate in my heart go that day, and for everyone, for every little, you know, spat or confrontation that you have with people. Like, just think about if it's truly worth it. Like, truly worth it to keep that anger towards somebody, knowing that they or you might be gone the next day, and that's the last thing that you have to hold on for them. You know, the consistency part of this, the 100% commitment part of this is completely necessary for us, because, you know, you see what a second can do, what one time can do. The time that I overdosed was a standard dose. It was a standard amount that I fucking took. It was just a different concoction, just a different makeup, and it fucking killed me, man. And you know, I hate saying this, but you know, Brian reminded me of that. Just one fucking time, man.
You know, this is my third time in treatment, and you know, obviously the first 2 times didn't work, and now I'm here, and you know, they talk about fully committing yourself and all that. You know, when I thought, you know, they say, oh, if you drink, you're gonna end up right back at your DOC. You know, my drug of choice, heroin, fentanyl. You know, I went out and drank, and you know, I didn't go do heroin that night, but you know, eventually I got back there, and just like one of the things that I didn't really grasp right away is, you know, it's simple, one day at a time. You know, I mean, I used to think like, man, no drinks or drugs the whole rest of my life. That doesn't sound very fun at all, and it just scared the hell out of me. And you know, I just right now, like, I can take things one day at a time and not worry. That's what seems to be working for me this time around. You know, that's just what I do for now. Time slows way down, and if I just stick with today, I do good today. You know, I'm just grateful to be here. I went to Florida the last 2 times, and you know, there was a lot of younger people in sobriety, and I'm happy I found that here. Right here in Northwest Ohio, where I'm from. And you know, like, you might go out and say, hey, I drank, I don't want to do, you know, my DOC or whatever, but eventually it'll get back there. And just, I mean, you have to commit yourself to it, and what helps me is one day at a time, so that's all I got. Thanks.
Well, so when I heard what had happened, I thought about, like, I think it was about a week ago, and he was having a really hard time, but I could see the fight in him, you know, and I could see, like, the dedication that he had and everything, and so that's absolutely where, like, my heart goes the most. Is we all know what the possibilities are when we use, especially that substance. You know, it's happens every day. We see it all the time. So for someone to make that choice to do that, I mean, you're literally, you know, saying that almost like a death. You know, you're putting yourself at such extreme risk. And to me, you know, when I've done a lot of one-on-ones since I've been here and stuff, and something that I always thought that I was only using because I like the effect, you know, that came from it, and just like the rush and everything. And one of the counselors here, Matt Boston, he's amazing, and he was like, dude, he's like, if you are jamming this needle in your arm and getting to the point where you're almost killing yourself, don't you think you might not like yourself to some degree? And I literally just never thought of it like that. I don't know why, or I've been to fucking AA for 13 years, and
even been here for a couple months. It took him to start planting that seed. And I still don't really even know what to do with it at that point. But over time, and like put a few IOPs and stuff here with Todd and shit, like he has, like I love what Joe read, like that just, those two sentences were like encapsulated, I feel like what like racing is all about, physical and mental and spiritual. Like since I've started changing those things in my life and like nurturing those things and putting like a lot of work into those things, that's where like I've started to see real change, just in my self-respect through the physical stuff, the mental stuff, being educated through the IOPs and being here and having good like real conversations with people, and the spiritual stuff with just getting out and dissecting some of the shit that I've went through in my life and getting it on the table and seeing how it affects my life now and the decisions I was making, and realizing, like Deanna talks about, like why was I using? Like the big fat why question was just like that needed to get answered. You know, I've been seeing all this stuff like fuck heroin on Facebook and shit. It's like that's missing the point. I feel that it is missing the point, because if it wasn't heroin, it would have been someone drinking themselves to death over 30 years, or even someone sticking around at some miserable ass job for 20, 30, 40 years, or smoking cigarettes till they, you know, or oxygen tank. I know it's just those self-destructive behaviors. It can be anything. It's not fuck that thing. It's why are we doing this to ourselves? Like, and I feel like that is really what the light has to be shown on. So it was just last thing real quick was there's a guy that comes on Thursdays, and I know everybody probably knows him. He talks about in his introduction about being here in the memory of his son. So I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about. But I think for me, listening to this conversation we've had, is the best thing I can do tonight and tomorrow and the next day is just be the best self that I can be, and to honor his family and the memory of him, and just try to be a light of hope to anybody else that is struggling, and be in a place to where I can show up to this meeting and people can see me and hear my voice and know that today I'm clean and there's hope. So that's all. Thanks.
Amy?
Ever since I heard about this, I've been like super depressed about it, because we weren't like best friends or nothing, but he was a cool guy and didn't deserve to die like that. Obviously, he's so young and shit. And one of my traumas was in 2016, my boyfriend passed away at the Hawthorne over there, and I was right there. And I got charged with everything, of course, but so I saw somebody die from it right in front of me. That was my boyfriend, and just brought back a lot of bad memories. And it made me think about what would happen to my poor family if I had died this summer when I decided to use heroin again, and I died in the Speedway parking lot in Lummi. And I didn't even tell anybody for like a month, and just like kept it to myself. But it's like, yeah, a choice, a simple choice, and it's like playing Russian roulette now. It's not okay, and it's not okay to cheat either. That's all I got.
Randy?
Yeah, I really what everyone said was good. But I know that, at least for me, I have to remember every day I open my eyes, I got a choice. I got one choice to make, and that's either to go use drugs or stay sober. If I go use drugs, there's consequences behind that. We don't get a pass. There ain't no passes around here. If I choose to stay sober, I reap the countless benefits of that, of living a healthy, holistic lifestyle that this program preaches. You know, and you just look at the slogan, with sobriety, anything is possible. If you believe in that with everything, your whole being, it will happen. That anything will happen. You know, we just can't expect recovery just to fall in our lap. We gotta go out there and put in the work. We have to put in the hard work every single day to reap the benefits. We can't not do anything. We gotta live this holistic lifestyle. And if we're not doing that, I just don't understand how are you gonna live your best life. I don't understand that. You know, I get it, it's sad, it sucks. But we have to remain focused on, you know, why, at least for me, why I came in the first place. And that's for me, you know, and that's, I'm number one. And I'm trying to save my life. So, you know, just remember why you're here.
All right, we got 3 minutes up. We got 2 more people.
The one thing I want to remind people in here and also the people that are watching about is one of my favorite aspects of Racing for Recovery is that it's not just for the people that were abusing drugs or whatever their substance of choice was. It's for anyone that's been affected by drugs and alcohol. So that includes family, you know, friends, loved ones, anybody that's been affected. And there are some family members that come here that do not use and have not used, but unfortunately, you know, have lost somebody to their addiction. And it does a lot of healing, I believe, for those people, and it helps a lot with the support we have here. There's amazing, truly amazing things that go on in these walls, the energy, it's hard to describe and put into words, but you can feel it. It's in the air, you know. And I just hope that, you know, his parents will sometime have the strength and the courage to come here and try to help, you know, maybe with their healing.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment on, like, I think what Mike and Randall shared was very applicable to what we're doing. The whole why, like for me, I know that was a big eye-opener also. That helped me be 100% dedicated when I started stop focusing on the crack, heroin, weed, alcohol, and started focusing on why I did what I did. Why was I so self-destructive? Why did I not care about what was going on in my life with people that love me? Like, for real, like, when you really start to ask yourself them questions, them whys, you can start answering them, and you can start flipping them. And also the whole, we all have that choice, man. When we wake up in the morning, like when Joe said that, we kept reading that, there's absolutely no room for using. Flat out. That's the mentality I have right now. Drugs are unnecessary, not an option, not a choice. To me, I know where that goes. So when I tell myself that, what else can I do? We actually, the opportunity that's here for us, we benefit so much from it. For simple fact is that once we put that bullshit down and start bettering ourselves and thinking of where we can go, what we can do, we become so much better people. I feel like that's why this place is the way it is, because we're focusing on becoming better people on a regular basis. So in all reality, there's a hell of a lot of good people here. Every day, people are getting better and better, closer and closer, stronger and stronger. Shit like this happens in life, regardless of where you're at. And it sucks. But we definitely gotta stay focused and remember why we're here, and that becoming better people, it's just gonna be a better outcome, and we're gonna reap the benefits so much more.
Alright. First of all, I want to say prayers out to his and Brian's family. I didn't really get to talk to him much. Didn't really know him that well. I wish I would have reached out to him to see if I could help him in some way, but I know you can't always do that. Make the choice. I know we're strong people as a family in here because we're in here facing our fears. So it makes us extremely strong as a family in here, guys. So you fight. We'll get past this shit. All this shit. That's all I got.
Guys, I appreciate the vulnerability in this room. I know it's a good meeting. Who has the autobiography in 5 short chapters?
Autobiography in 5 short chapters. I walk down the street, there's a deep hole in the sidewalk, I fall in, I am lost, I am hopeless. It isn't my fault, it takes forever to find my way out.
I walk down the same street, there's a deep hole in the sidewalk, I pretend I don't see it, I fall in again. I can't believe I'm in the same place, but it isn't my fault. It takes a long time to get out. I walk down the same street, there's a deep hole in the sidewalk, I see this there, I still fall in. It's a habit, my eyes are open. I know where I am, it's my fault, it is my fault, and I get out immediately. I walk down the same street, there's a deep hole in the sidewalk, I walk around it. I walk down another street.
Thanks for coming, everyone.
I had to say Randy. Yeah, it was funny to think the whole way.
Well, we're gonna pick up our sheets.
Like, what you can take away.
I like that. You want you on Brandon said right at the end.